sports.
There's no place like home, and after playing 16 of their last 18 games on the road and battling the elements, hot pitchers, and road fatigue, the Braves are back in Atlanta. And tonight we open up a 7-game homestand against two of their National League Eastern rivals. First, the Washington Nationals for 4, and then the Mets are in town for a 3-game set over the weekend. It's great to be back at the TED, and it's time to get back on the winning track. The homestand and an important series with the Nationals opens up next. It is great to be back in Atlanta, Georgia, and here at Turner Field, where tonight the Braves are back home with their arch rivals from Washington in town. A 4-game series brought to you by the Home Depot gets underway tonight with Steven Strasburg on the mound for Washington, Julio Teheran for the homestanding Braves. Hi again, friends. Chip Carey, Tom Glavine, Joe Simpson. Great to be back after a very disappointing and tough road trip. But the Nats are in town, Joe, and the Braves have a nifty win streak working against them dating back to the 2012 year.
Yeah, well, don't forget that it was a road trip where the Braves whitewashed the Washington Nationals, the first road trip of the year. And boy, did the Braves go into Nationals Park and do a number on what was the arch rival last year in the defending National League East champions. The Braves 6-1, they outscored them on average. 5-2, they out-homered them. And remember, those 2 homers for Washington came in the first 2 innings of that series. And all the runs that the Braves were scoring came late. It seemed like the Nationals weren't able to do anything against the Braves bullpen. So let's hope that this continues into this 4-game set here.
Braves have won 7 straight over the Nationals dating back to last season. They're on a roll, and hopefully, Tommy, Julio Teheran's starting a role for the Braves.
Yeah, hopefully. He's coming off his best start of the season, and probably the best start of his young career out in Colorado his last time out, going 7 innings, giving up 8 hits and only 1 run. The key for him out there, like it is for so many pitchers, he didn't walk anybody. He located the ball well, used all his pitches, and helped himself out a little bit. There's an athlete picking a guy off there. So nice athlete again there, making a nice ground ball play. So did a lot of things well. And coming off, in my mind, a very big growing up moment. You talked about that last series in Washington. His start up there had a rough first 2 innings, 4 scoreless, hitless innings over the end of that ball game. And to me, that's one of those things that he's going to bring out there with him tonight and gain some confidence with that.
As always, Tommy, great to see you make an athlete of yourself as we get set for the Braves and the Nationals. Game 1 tonight in Atlanta. It's great to be back here at Turner Field. Home sweet home indeed. Tom Hart will tell us all about what we hope will be a happy homecoming when we come back right after this. by AT Uverse, by Delta Airlines, by Ford, and by Sherwin-Williams.
Welcome back to Turner Field. Game one of the series between the Braves and the Nationals, and game one of a 7-game homestand for this Atlanta ball club. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tom Hart, and boy, home couldn't have been sweeter for this Atlanta team, which arrived late last night from wind and rain-swept Detroit. They're just happy to be back home because not only were they on the road, but they're on the road in bad weather. In fact, it was weather fit for a mailman. Rain, sleet, snow, a little ice, too. Take a look at what the Braves have been through since they were last at home. Beautiful day in Pittsburgh to start things off, and then the thermometer dropped down. It included the coldest game in Coors Field history with 22 degrees at first pitch. If it wasn't cold, then it was wet, and they finally wrapped it up last night with a loss in Detroit in the pouring rain. The good news, here today, the sun is out, the weather is fantastic. It should continue that way throughout the week. When you talk about road fatigue, manager Freddie Gonzalez said we'll have none of that because when you're playing a rival, that has no effect. It's the Nats in town to kick off this series as the Braves return home and look to continue their winning ways with the best record in the National League.
Part by the Home Depot. Wow, somebody turn up the AC. It's a hot night for baseball compared to where we've been, fellas. Beautiful night here in Atlanta as Julio Teheran strides to the top of the Turner Field mound. He'll take on Davey Johnson and his Washington Nationals. Their Toyota starting lineup has Denard Span starting things off. Danny Espinosa batting and playing second. Bryce Harper, Jason Worth, Adam LaRoche, and a terrible slide is at first. Ian Desmond, Chad Tracy in for injured Ryan Zimmerman at third base. Kurt Suzuki's behind the plate. Of course, Steven Strasburg, the Nats flamethrower, gets the start in game one.
And on the mound for the Braves, right-hander Julio Teheran, and making his fifth start of the year, 1-0 with a 5.48 ERA. As you mentioned, coming off a great start in Colorado his last time up. And again, let's look to see if that back half of that start in Washington, where he pitched so well the last 4 innings of the game, is something that he learned and some things that he'll bring out there with him tonight for this start.
And his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Early success. He's had some trouble in the first 2 innings of just about every ball game. In fact, the Colorado start, his last time out, the first time he didn't give up runs in the first and second inning of a start. Hopefully he'll have a better opportunity to get them mowed down 1, 2, 3 in the early stages tonight. His arm angle very important too. Sometimes he'll flatten his arm out on his breaking pitch, which causes the pitches to flatten out a little bit, his slider especially, and you can't do that and leave any hangers out over the plate to this club.
Tommy, we've talked about this a lot. Braves got in this morning around 2:30 Atlanta time after their road trip wrapped up in Detroit. It's been said that a first game back after a long road trip almost feels like another road game. Was that accurate for you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, look, I'm sure they had a little bit of cobwebs when they woke up this morning. You get in late, you sleep late, you don't have a great night's sleep. But when it comes time to start thinking about getting to the ballpark, and especially against a rival like this, I think your adrenaline takes over and you'll be fine.
So Denard Span ready to go for Washington. And Julio's first pitch of the night is upstairs for ball one. A balmy 72 degrees in Atlanta. How nice is that?
Felt weird rolling my sleeves up.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been nice here for 10 days.
Outside for ball two. To Denard Span, 278 average, no homers, 9 runs batted in. And he scored 9 runs in the first 25 games this year for Washington. That's Davey Johnson, former Braves second baseman. His Nats come to town 13-12 on the year, 2.5 games behind Atlanta in the East.
Looks a little amped up. Missing high with a fastball, high and away to Span. And he's throwing hard, right at 93.
Now it's full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Which could be that he just thawed out. He's feeling kind of good after that game 1 start in Colorado.
Well, they obviously didn't have a great road trip, and he's looking at this as an opportunity to get home, get things going back in the right direction. So for him being a young pitcher, you got to guard against being a little bit too amped up.
Let's see if he can rally and get Span with a full count pitch. And it's ground ball up the middle and past Dan Uggla. Leadoff single for Span, who's hit safely now in 7 of his last 8 ball games. And here's the rest of the Braves defense. Dan Uggla, as we mentioned, at second base. The outfield alignment has the Upton brothers in left and center. Jordan Schaefer gets the start in right field. Johnson and Freeman on the corners. Andrelton Simmons at short. And has been customary this year, Gerald Laird's catching Julio Teheran. Danny Espinosa, the hitter. Slow start, as you see, a 178 average. 2 homers, 6 RBIs.
With the injury to Ryan Zimmerman, it's caused Davey Johnson to have to juggle his spots in the batting order, too. Moving Jason Worth down into the cleanup spot. Espinosa's moved up from 6th or 7th to 2nd.
And a bunt tries rolled foul. Strike 1 to Danny Espinosa. Espinosa was very vocal after the Braves swept the Nationals up in Washington, and you wouldn't expect him to say anything but what he said, which was he still likes his team better than the Braves, despite Atlanta winning the first 3 games of the series head-to-head.
Yeah, you'd expect nothing less. You know, I'm sure they still like the makeup of their club, but no question they want to get things going.
Yeah,
No balls, 2 strikes.
He was less than impressed at getting wiped out 3 straight.
So Teheran ahead now. No balls, 2 strikes. And a quick throw to first. What also was said by Espinosa as you look at the umpiring crew tonight. Laz Diaz has the plate. Timmons, Winters, and Wegner on the base paths. Swing and a miss. Espinosa's retired for Teheran's first out of the ball game. What Espinosa also said was, look, the Braves were red hot at that time after that blistering start. He said, look, they're not going to go 150-12. They're going to cool off and come back to earth.
He also said something to the effect there's 16 more games left with the Braves, and he liked their chances the next 16.
Well, maybe he's trying to convince himself and his teammates as much as he was the fan base.
Yep. This guy's been impressive, though.
Yes, he has.
9 homers, 18 RBIs for 20-year-old Bryce Harper. A breaking ball has him behind in the count. Harper has 1 hit against Atlanta so far this year. It was a home run off Julio Teheran.
In the first inning, looked like he was going to set the stage for that whole series when he had a 2-run homer in the first. Opposite field, too.
They pick off Span. What a move by Teheran.
That's 2 and 2 starts, and I think Span was still in midair by the time Julio let this one go.
Well, it's quick feet, and one of those things as a pitcher you can be good at or get good at to really help yourself become a better pitcher and certainly control a running game.
So a nice lift for Julio. He gives up the single, strikes out Espinosa, picks off Span, and now has Harper up there with the bases empty and 2 outs.
Let's take another look at this, Tommy. And Chris Medlin also has a good move, but it's about the feet.
Yep, you got quick feet. Not everybody has quick feet. Obviously, they try to be quick, but certainly with Teheran and like you mentioned, Medlin too. Those are 2 guys from the right side that are extremely quick going over there, and that's a big plus to have that.
Harper a line drive over Freeman's glove and into the right field corner. Bryce Harper chugs into second with his 6th double of the year, and to pick off a very big play early in this game. Harper at second now with 2 outs.
Threw him a nice curveball to start him, and he swung and missed, but that looked like a straight change that he made a mistake on.
Yeah, whatever it was, it cut back over the plate.
So as Joe mentioned, Jason Worth now the cleanup hitter for Washington with Ryan Zimmerman injured. Worth 4 homers, 10 RBIs, and a .266 mark. He's been one of their hotter hitters of late. It's a quick strike. Julio just like that, quickly ahead 0-2.
Worth last year battled another wrist injury, missed a lot of time, only hit 2 home runs all year, and he's already hit 4 this year. We're certainly glad to see some of his power return, and he might find a home in the middle of their lineup even when Zimmerman comes back. .95 on that fastball.
Yeah, he did a decent job for them last year at the top of the lineup, but I don't know. I still always look at him as a middle of the guy, run producing type of hitter.
A little high. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Jason Worth. Harper doubled with 2 outs, stands at second as Teheran ready for his 18th pitch of the inning.
Jason Worth, big, tall, long-legged guy, takes up a lot of the batter's box, but he is right on that back line. His right foot barely in the box.
Tehran misses upstairs to Worth. High fly ball center field. B.J. Upton's going to have plenty of room, and Tehran is out of the first inning. He struck out a man, he picked off a man, and the Braves come up against Steven Strasburg in a scoreless first inning. Youngest team in Major League Baseball, and it's been a challenge for Freddie Gonzalez to find a lineup that clicks. You see it on our Home Depot tools from the dugout. Tonight's the 11th different starting 8 in the last 11 games for the Braves manager. Here is the Toyota starting lineup tonight. A new look up top. Schaefer and Andrelton Simmons bat first and second ahead of Justin Upton. Freeman, Chris Johnson, Dan Uggla, B.J. Upton, Gerald Laird 8th, and Julio Tehran is hitting 9th.
He'll be facing Nationals right-hander Steven Strasburg. He's 1-4 on the year, including losing his last 4. He won his opening day start, lost his last 4. His last time out against St. Louis, he pitched pretty well. You see in his 8 career starts against the Braves, he's got a 3-4 record. So a little bit uncharacteristic start here for him early in the year, and trying to figure some things out.
And his 4 keys to pitching success, you might try to figure them out right away, because his pitching coach, Steve McCaddy, wants him to use his fastball and be a little bolder here in the first couple of pitches to try to get ahead with his fastball. Don't get away from it. And if he has any questions about what to think about this Atlanta team, just ask Espinosa.
Jordan Schaefer gets things started for the Braves. And Strasburg's first pitch all the way to the backstop. It was a fastball.
And Laz Diaz very happy that that one went through his legs too. And the fact that Suzuki didn't get a leather on it.
2 balls, no strikes from Steven Strasburg. That's Steve McCaddy, hoping his right-hander can snap a 4-game losing streak. First time Strasburg's ever had that happen in the big leagues.
It's funny, his worst month record-wise is April. 3-4. It's the only losing month he has, but his best ERA of any month is April in the low 2s.
And a get me over 95-mile-an-hour fastball makes the count 3-1 for Jordan Schaefer. And that's sprayed into the seats. Look alive. When the lefties are up, you fans on the third base side, full count. Jordan has started. He swung the bat well. He's hitting .320 so far this year. And he'll take first as that ball got away, and that one did hit Las Diaz on the ankle.
Sure did.
And Jordan Schaefer a leadoff walk.
Fortunately, caught part of his shin guard. Fortunately.
Wow.
But the first inning, again, that's part of the issue that they've taken with him in his early starts this season, because that's when he's suffered the most. Check it out, a 10 ERA in the first inning.
So let's see if Schaefer's feeling frisky on the base paths as Strasburg misses badly again. Yeah, 11 different lineups, fellas, in 11 games. And it's well documented that number 1 and number 2 spots in the Braves batting order collectively have had a very, very tough time here in the season's first 24 games.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, like you say, that, you know, Freddie's obviously trying to tinker a little bit, try and find something on that top end of the order, and you know, those aren't easy places to hit, but you know, certainly here with Jordan taking a walk to start things off is the kind of thing you want to see.
Strasburg typically doesn't have too many control issues, but that's 9 walks for him now in 31 plus innings. That's a lot for him.
One ball, 1 strike. And that's off the plate. No swing. 2-1 the count to Brave shortstop, who's been swinging a hot bat of late. And that's the subject of our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, I think he will find himself maybe back at the top of the order when Hayward comes back, because of his good numbers and his on-base percentage. Provided, unless Schaefer, of course, gets hot. And Jordan's been swinging the bat well, too. Good to see him draw a walk.
Braves have used 4 different leadoff men this year. They've used 6 different number 2 hitters. And one reason why there have been so many changes of late, obviously, is Jason Hayward out with the appendectomy in Denver.
Well, but those numbers on that graphic you just showed, it's just, you got to find somebody that is hot right now and can get on base. That's not named Justin Upton.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Suzuki's throw is going to be late. Jordan got in with the left hand.
Good crossover step. Good throw by Suzuki, but just a little bit late. 4th stolen base for Schaefer.
So here's Justin Upton, 12 homers, 18 RBIs, and a chance for him to hit with a runner in scoring position. Early run versus Strasburg is always welcome. Justin, though, 0 for 8 in his career against Steven Strasburg. One ball, 1 strike. Line drive over second, in for a hit. Schaefer had to hold for a second, but he'll streak around third and score, and the Braves pick up a first inning run.
You get a guy in scoring position for Justin. The Braves just haven't had enough of him. It doesn't have to be a thing of beauty. This was fought off, just dumped out into shallow right field. But the point is there was contact made, and that's something the Braves were not able to do on the road trip with runners in scoring position. Too many strikeouts. And there it is. 23 strikeouts out of their 53 outs with men in scoring position. Put it in play, you got a chance.
And Braves manufacture a 1-0 lead.
I was going to say a little bit of the manufacturing a run that we're talking about. A walk, a stolen base, and a bloop line drive.
And Strasburg, having more first inning trouble, has been behind a lot of these Braves hitters. In fact, he's thrown more balls than strikes so far.
Body language not very good either.
2 balls, no strikes for Freeman. Now 3-0.
He doesn't seem to like it here at Turner Field very much. Haven't had too many good days here.
Line into left field by Freeman on a 3-0 count. Justin turns on the afterburners. He'll try for third. The ball's cut off. Throw back to first, and out is Freeman. Freddie Gonzalez will come out and argue with Tim Timmons. The tag appeared to be on the foot of Freeman as he dived back into the bag.
Takes a lot to get a reaction out of Terry Pendleton, an immediate reaction from him. Kind of gave you an idea that that was a missed call. Wow.
Boy, that changes this inning dramatically. Runner at third now with 2 outs for Chris Johnson. And just like that, Strasburg pumps in a quick strike.
Well, that changed the inning a lot, didn't it?
Set of first and third with 1 out. Runner at third and 2 outs, and a ground ball deep short. Desmond has it. Long throw to first is in time, and that retires the side. Was Freeman safe? Was Freeman out? Well, he'll have a chance to talk it over with Tim Timmons as he mans first base. 1-0 Atlanta the lead. We head to the second inning. In the first, could have had a whole lot more. Was Freeman safer out at first, fellas?
I think the tag comes in late. You can see here the glove is not on him yet, and Freddie's hand is on the bag. Now watch as the tag continues. Tag is there. Freddie's arm's already bent. His chest is coming up like he's already pushing up off the base. Just a missed call that may have taken a big inning away from Atlanta.
So Julio Teheran has a 1-0 lead, and Adam LaRoche may have stolen an out, stands in to start the second. And I know Adam has always been a notorious slow starter, but this is taking it to extremes for Washington.
Yeah, he's been pretty good at digging himself out of some April holes, but 0 for his last 26 and 135 on the year. So that's going to be a big hole for him to make up.
Braves have a shift on for LaRoche, who got some video help today from Chipper Jones, who was looking at Adam's swing before the game, believe it or not, today. In the Nationals clubhouse.
That'd be a real good thing to do Thursday afternoon when they're leaving town, I think.
I would have to agree with that.
Well, maybe they were looking at deer hunting videos instead of swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I bet Chipper was just telling him to hang in there, hang with him.
And just like that, LaRoche goes the other way on a 1-2 pitch and breaks that hitless streak with a leadoff second inning single.
Tommy, I know you've talked about this before, but somehow, some way, I think that pitch needs to be canned out of the Braves repertoire, trying to go for that high fastball swing and a miss. It burned Medlin a couple of times. It burned Mahalam, and I'm not sure why they keep trying to incorporate it if the guys can't elevate the fastball the way they need to.
Well, you got to change your mindset, and it's got to be truly higher than high, and that's the problem when you don't throw it higher than high and it ends up bottom of the mask high. That's prime hitting zone right there. A lot of guys can do some damage with that pitch,
as Omar Infante proved in Detroit.
But again, it's not a pitch that you can just say, let me try this one. You got to practice it in the bullpen because you're so geared to keeping the ball down that easier said than done when you start trying to elevate.
Let's see if Teheran can get a ground ball here as he's ahead of the shortstop, Ian Desmond, 0-2.
The tip here is to watch the catcher's glove, and you can see the high target from Laird.
You know, it's about chin high, but even from Laird's perspective, maybe you leave that target up there a little bit longer. Give him a little bit more to focus on.
Nice stop for Laird. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I know when I tried to do that at times in my career, I would always try to do it inside because at least then you could zero in on the guy's hands or something tight in there in between the hitter and the catcher. When you're just trying to throw it out over the plate, to me, it's tough because you just see too much. There's nothing to hone in on.
That ball shot the other way by Desmond. Back-to-back hits for Washington on 1-2 counts. And 2 are on to start the second inning for Chad Tracy. Seems strange, too. You're taught to keep the ball down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's counter to everything you think as a pitcher. Everything you think, everything you practice in the bullpen is down in the zone, below the knees, at the knees or below the knees in the strike zone. If you're going to miss over the plate, you miss down. And that's so, counter to everything that you're trying to do. That's why I say if it's a thing that you're practicing in the bullpen, then that's one thing to try and bring it in the game. But to just try and break it out, it's tough to do. And I'm
in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes.
Sorry, I'm by no means suggesting that they just decide, hey, let's try this today. I'm sure there is some of that going on in the bullpen, but again, it's not as easy as it would seem. But again, if you can do it, it's a good pitch to have in your arsenal, especially when you're throwing mid-90s.
Pickoff play, and what a save by Andrelton Simmons.
Both LaRoche on that high fastball and Desmond on his base hit to right behind in the count. Both with opposite field approaches, inside out swings.
Now Jared Laird out for a chat. 2 balls, no strikes. Now big trouble. 3-0 to Chad Tracy.
Freddie Freeman got a green light 3-0. This guy might too. He's got a lot of power. It's off to a slow start. 3 for 23. 3-0 runs that average up a little higher.
Three and 1 to Tracy, who broke in with the Diamondbacks back in 2004. Played with the Cubs, the Marlins, and now in his 2nd season with the Nationals after spending the 2011 year in Japan. Hot shot past Freeman and into right field for a hit. LaRoche around third. Schaefer's throw will not be cut off, and the Nationals have runners at the corners with nobody out. A game-tying hit by Chad Tracy.
Fastball, and pretty much at 3-1. He was trying to make sure he didn't walk him, but Chad Tracy sitting on that. Like I said, your average goes up a lot when you're 3-0, 3-1 as a big league hitter, even if you're hitting 130 coming in.
This is Kurt Suzuki, the Washington catcher. No balls and a strike. Kurt has 4 hits in his last 29 at bats. And an even count.
There's a situation for Tehran. I think if you get the opportunity to get ahead in the count and try to get a strikeout with the pitcher on deck, you're certainly obviously going to try and do that. But I think right here too, a ground ball double play and trade that out for a run and stay out of the big inning early here in the ball game as well.
Deep short and through. 4 straight Washington hits and the Nationals lead 2-1.
Saw the struggles of Kurt Suzuki recently, but on the year he's now 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. So he concentrates a little better when he's up there with men in scoring position, and he got a pitch down the middle.
Yeah, pitch to Tracy, the 3-1 pitch, like you say, obviously a huge hitter's count. Tried to go away and ended up throwing it down the middle. There he tried to go in on Suzuki and held on a little too long and threw it down the middle. So early on, it seems like when he's missing down, or when he's down in the zone, he's missing over the plate, and when he's trying to hump up and get up by the 90, 94, 95 range, he seems like he's missing up out of the strike zone. So a little bit of some issues maybe of maybe feeling a little bit too strong, trying to throw too hard, and then you try to back down a little bit to try and hone in your location a little bit, and then you start guiding the ball a little bit.
Well, and that would stand to reason here when you look at his 1st and 2nd inning ERAs. Again, needed some early success tonight. After the 3rd inning, okay, but the first 2 innings have really been problematic for him. The only start he hasn't given up a run in one of those 2 innings was against Colorado his last time out.
Strasburg trying for his 3rd sacrifice. That is a foul ball. 0-1 the count.
It's always that fine line as a pitcher where you're on some of those nights when you're just feeling strong, and then and maybe you're missing your location a little bit, and you try to back it down. You know, you just got to make up your mind if you're just going to go with trying to throw the ball as hard as you have been and hone that in, or back it down. It's tough when you keep going back and forth. You got to hone in on one speed and try and hone in that location.
That's bunted, foul off the plate. 1-2. Strikeout here would be nice. That's Trent Jewett, the Nationals' third base coach. Strasburg at a 1-2 count. Strasburg fans and misses. Throw back to second in time. Tracy wandered too far off the bag. A twin killing with a runner at first now for Washington in the inning.
Boy, Tracy really went too far when he bunted right through it. Watch, he took 2 steps. And now a nice play by Simmons to save a short hop and get the tag down.
Anytime you see a guy bunt through a pitch, that's when a runner is susceptible to be picked off, because it's one thing when you foul it off or things like that, but when you bunt straight through it, the runner has a tendency of taking the read as you've made contact, and he starts to try to get a good jump, and especially when they're trying to be aggressive and get that out at third.
So Denard Span with 2 outs in the inning. Boy, Teheran has been very fortunate. Laird picks off a runner at second. Julio picked off Span in the first inning. Bryce Harper later followed in that opening frame with a double. No balls and a strike.
He's had a good breaking ball, not the slider, but just a curveball's been good. I think all the hits have come off fastballs except the one by Harper. Looked like something off speed that he pulled for the double in the first.
Let's worry about that man in the third inning. Ball, 2 strikes. Span came to the Nationals from Minnesota, a deal that sent Alex Meyer to Minneapolis. That was in late November of last year. Two and two. Long inning for Teheran. This will be his 25th pitch. And the ricochet almost got Las Diaz. Beat up behind the plate so far tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. The bad news is Washington leads. The good news is Julio did a heck of a job of controlling the damage. The Nationals get 2 runs on 4 hits. And now the Braves go back to work, down a run in the second inning. And Ugler coming up.
Good to see him at the yard anytime. I'm sure he really missed being on that road trip.
Yeah. I can speak for him, I think. No, he didn't.
I'll bet you can.
Do you want to hit him or should I? After that. Dan Ugla starts things off against Strasburg. Let's check in for the first time with Tom tonight.
Yeah, guys, Freddie Gonzalez mentioned that this afternoon, and we saw Chipper. He said the first thing he asked him is, how did your knees feel when we were playing in 20-degree weather in Colorado?
I'm sure they were aching all the way back to Roswell.
2 quick strikes to Dan Ugla. He's had good luck against Strasburg. And he looks at a fastball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, he wanted that pitch, didn't get it inside corner. 2-2.
Well, now that he was given the lead back by his teammates, I would put a little hop in his step. He ought to feel a little better about himself.
Line drive into center field. That'll drop for a hit. Leadoff single for Ugla. Nice comeback for Dan, who was down 0-2 in the count.
Just added to his already good numbers against Steven Strasburg. Nice ball low and out over the plate. Pretty much hit it where it was pitched. Watching Dan take batting practice today and was getting pats on the back for driving the ball to right and right center with authority.
BJ swings the first pitch, skies that to shallow center. Charging in is Span and has it. 1 on, 1 out for Gerald Laird. Fans save big on your next Braves game with the Chevron Value Plan. For just $69, you get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, 1 parking pass, 1 game program, and a $10 Chevron promo card, a savings of over $50. Visit Braves.com/value today. Gerald Laird's batting 8th tonight, batting .320 for the campaign. No homers, 4 RBIs.
Swinging the bat well. Hasn't played a whole lot recently. In fact, I'm not sure that he played at all in Detroit.
Did not.
Ground ball slowly toward Desmond at short. And on the transfer, Dan Uggla is called out at second base. He and Espinosa collided, and Espinosa comes up a little worse for wear.
I think that was a very generous call at second base by Mike Winters. Because that glove, the transfer to the bare hand, never occurred. You can see that came right out of the glove, never got into the fingers of his right hand at all. That looked like a drop.
Not sure how or what hurt Desmond on that play.
Favoring his right leg. Watch it real speed.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't need a knee or need a thigh or.
So Laird at first with 2 outs, and Julio Teheran. A good run at the plate for the Braves.
That's because he's an athlete. I mean, he's picking guys off, making plays on the mound. He's hitting. He's doing it all. As a good athlete should and would.
I thought we were doing those comments, our opening comments. I thought it was going to be a monologue about pitching and athletes.
And strike 3 is called to retire the side. Steven Strasburg is given a 1-run lead, and his offense goes back to work in the top of the 3rd inning.
Nationals lead the Braves, top of the 3rd inning. I'm Tom Hart at the ballpark. A week ago at about just this time, Jason Hayward was undergoing surgery to remove his appendix in a Denver hospital. When I talked to him today about his timeline, he said he's still a little bit of time away from even resuming baseball activities.
Best decision would be to not do a whole lot for 2 weeks. I mean, that's what any natural person does when it comes to that. The fact that I'm an athlete, take pretty good care of my body. I may be ready to go sooner than the average person, but at the same time, being smart, it'd be smart to take 2 weeks, not do anything. I mean, this is week 1 today. I had the surgery last Monday. we're going to take another week of just letting everything heal, and after that, it's whatever I can tolerate, basically.
In other injury news, Brian McCann may be at the ballpark tomorrow to take batting practice with his teammates. He's still undergoing his injury rehab assignment. He'll be in Gwinnett for 5 games. And, guys, one thing to look forward to, while Jason Hayward will remain out towards the end of May, the right fielders in his stead have done pretty well. They're batting .400 since he first missed time in Denver.
Thank you, Tom. Great report. And, guys, that's one other exciting facet of this Braves ball club is an outstanding bench.
Nobody can play 162. I mean, you don't have a team full of guys that can play 162, so you got to have a strong bench if you want to be successful, and that's good news and good numbers from the guys filling in.
Well, let's see if Tehran can have an easy inning. He's got the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for Washington. Espinosa struck out in the first. Let's see if that collision at second base with Dan Uggla affects this at bat. Little flare down the left field line's going to drop in front of Justin Upton. Big turnaround first, and Espinosa's aboard with a leadoff single. 7 hits already for the Nationals tonight.
They had 6 in the first 2 innings in Washington before he settled in and shut him out and no-hit him over the next 4.
Harper doubled into the right field corner in the first. Harper just celebrated his first anniversary as a major league player. He has put up mind-boggling numbers as a 19 and now 20-year-old youngster for Washington. Bouncing ball to first. Freeman fires to Simmons, and a fastball right back at him for a double play.
Hard one to turn, even though Freddie's got a great arm and got to Andrelton in a hurry. It's turning your back to Andrelton and finding the bag, and then especially when you've got to throw as wayward as this one is to recuperate a little bit. Great stretch.
Yeah, I think we've all come to appreciate how good Freddie is over there at first base, and did a nice job of fielding that, making the throw, and like you say, not only finding the bag but finding the somewhat wayward throw.
So the Nats phenom Bryce Harper's doubled up here in the 3rd inning. That brings up Jason Worth. Base is empty and 2 outs. Two and two.
Challenged him there. He's throwing harder tonight than he's been throwing, Tom. Maybe the warm weather is making him feel good, but he's been 95 several times.
Yeah, that's why I say stay there and figure out a way to hit your spots with that.
Worth a soft fly ball to right. Jordan Schaefer is under it and has it. And that takes care of the Nationals in the 3rd inning. Jordan caught the final out. He'll lead things off for Atlanta. 2-1 ball game here at Turner Field. 3-game summary.
Julio Teheran off to a little bit of a rough start, but perhaps righted the ship there thanks to that double play in the 3rd inning. Braves looked like they had a good inning working in the 1st inning. Got a tough call made against him on the bases that hurt.
So the top of the order up in the 3rd inning. Jordan Schaefer takes a breaking ball to even up the count. A walk, a stolen base. Schaefer scored the first Braves run on a Justin Upton single.
The start of the game, Strasburg 0 for 4 on first pitch strikes. First 4 batters, he was 5 for 5 coming into this inning. Of his last 5. And that was something Steve McCaddy said after his last start that he needed to do more of, is get ahead in the count.
Full count. Schaefer backed away, not sure about that call.
A steady decline for him, at least at this stage of 2013 in first pitch strikes.
And Schaefer walks for the 2nd time. Tom, I know that first pitch strike graphic is one that we've talked about before. Strike 1 is not necessarily the biggest pitch for you, in your opinion.
No, it's not. I mean, it used to be. I think the game's changed a little bit in that regard. I think guys are hitting for a much higher average on a first pitch strike than they were back when I pitched. I think, to me, and we've talked about this before, and I don't know the exact numbers, but if you can think in the mindset of getting to a 2-strike count within your first 3 pitches, that to me is more of where you want to be. I think that keeps you aggressive without necessarily.
Simmons drives one deep left center field. Span going back at the fence will have just enough room. Andrelton just missed a 2-run homer on the first pitch.
And I think that's where guys get lulled a little bit, or maybe they don't quite think about the stat in general. But a lot of guys, when you say, oh, you got to go strike 1, well, you've got to go strike 1 with a quality pitch, not just strike 1 for the sake of going strike 1. And I think you're seeing, like I said, more and more of the trend is the guys are getting in the box and they're swinging. So a lot of hitters, you got to treat that 0-0 pitch like it's an 0-2 count, and that's how you got to try to approach some of these guys. But again, I think if you keep that mindset of 2 strikes within the first 3 pitches, that'll keep you aggressive, but it'll make you make quality pitches as well.
So Simmons gives one a ride, but is retired for the first out. Justin Upton singled home a run in the 1st inning. That's again with Schaefer at first.
We often say a guy hits one out of the ballpark, and we'll say, wow, that one fooled me. I didn't think he got it. I thought Andrelton hit that about 5 rows deep in the seats in center field. I'm surprised it stayed in the yard.
Ground ball toward 3rd. Funny hop. Tracy stuck with it. And Espinosa the turn. Doubles up Atlanta in the 3rd inning. So the Braves miss taking the lead by just that much as Strasburg lives to tell the tale. Atlanta doubled up, and this game heads to the 4th inning. 2-1 Washington. Leads the Braves 2-1 here in Atlanta, where all season long Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. We told you Chipper's in the house, and he's standing by with Tom Hart. Tom?
All right, Chip, thanks. Yeah, Chipper Jones out for his second ever game at the ballpark as a fan. You know, your first game, you never had a beer before. Have you ever had nachos in the stands before?
No, that's the first order. First order.
Why come back out today? You haven't been around that much over the course of the season.
Well, the Nats were in town, and Adams, you know, Roachie's still one of my best friends, and he woke up this morning. We played golf up in Roswell with a couple of the pitchers, Tyler Clippard and Craig Stamen, and we were on the first tee, and he said, "Hey, we're teammates today, but I'm over my last 26. Can you take a look at me?" You know, and you know, he's a great friend. A good friend asks you to do something for you, you'll help him out.
So you're the one to blame for his first hit. He broke the skid. What'd you see in that at bat?
Well, Roachie's he's a pull hitter, and he needs to change his sights a little bit, and we just worked on trying to get him to go up through the middle of the field. And you know, I'm thinking, you know, some of these changes, they take 2 or 3 days to kind of take hold, but unfortunately for the Braves in that second inning, he let off. And I know I'm going to hear it from everybody, but I think everybody would help out a friend if they were in need.
Well, indeed. Here's another guy in this Nationals roster that wasn't necessarily a friend at the start of last season, but Bryce Harper told me before the game today that he specifically reached out to you before last year, his rookie year, just to get a feel for being a professional. What kind of information did you share with him?
I just told him, you know, I mean, he's under the microscope already. Everybody's going to be critiquing every little move he makes, and I told him just to blend in. And the only way to blend in is to go out and work as hard as the next guy, and be a good teammate, be coachable, you know, and speak when spoken to. All those things you hear, all those little cliches, and you know, from what I hear from Roachie, you know, and Jason Worth and Ryan Zimmerman and the guys, he's going to be a good one.
How about the guys in your clubhouse? You had a chance to go in there today, share some laughs, sit around with guys like Dan Uggla, Chris Johnson, of course, with the Stetson connection. Oh, my, Chipper, did you do it again? Okay, you're off the hook for that.
Off the hook. He had that one good. I'm happy with that swing, though.
What was it like, that visit today in the Braves clubhouse?
It was good. You know, I think I always enjoyed seeing the older guys come back and you know, being able to shoot the breeze with them. You know, I know they're a little down on their luck right now. They got off to the great start. They had a rough road trip, so you went 3-7. You got a chance against the number 2 team in the division right now to put some space between you. Obviously, you're facing Strasburg with, you know, Tehran's our number 5, but these guys can go out. They can play with them. They proved it up in Washington. There's no reason why they can't do it again tonight.
Last Tuesday it was 23 degrees at first pitch in Denver. What were you doing?
I was in the Bahamas. I actually got home last night just in time to see him tip it off, and it's raining and 40 degrees in Detroit, and I was sitting there eating dinner thinking, man, I'm glad I'm not there.
All right, finally, I'll let you go after this one. When you were last here on opening day, you said your pick to win the division was the Nationals. The Braves swept them up there, playing good baseball, obviously, to start the season before that road trip. Has that changed your opinion any?
Well, the Braves certainly impressed me with the way they swung the bats against their top 3 pitchers up there. But it was a good series. They got off to a great start. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. A lot of baseball left. The cream usually rises to the top. I certainly expect the cream of the National League East is right here on this field tonight. It's going to be a battle, you know. Until you beat them, you pretty much got a favorite.
All right, can't argue with you there. Thanks for your time. Sorry the nacho cheese got cold.
Thank you.
All right, well, at least LaRoche is only 1 for 2, but what was he, Chip, 15 feet away from us having to run Chipper out of the building?
Yeah. Save it. Save it, Larry. But good to see him back at the ballpark. And another meeting on the mound for Julio Tehran. Couple of singles here with 1 out. Chad Tracy's 2 for 2, and Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, digging in with 1 out.
I thought my weather was pretty good on that road trip for you guys. This was even better.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I knew he didn't miss that.
Yeah.
Ground ball would be nice with the catcher, Suzuki, in the batter's box, and he takes a quick strike. Suzuki needed time.
And this guy's number's good with runners in scoring position and drove in a run in the second.
High fly ball left center. BJ going back at the edge of the track, and now a step on the track. Makes the grab, 2 outs. Desmond tags and moves to third with Strasburg coming up.
First and third, 2 out. Time for our Ram Trucks power stats. Braves' last 7 games against the Nats, they've beaten them all 7 times, averaging 5 runs a game and getting great pitching. And check out the bullpen, and 0 ERA in those 7 games after the Braves had really struggled in the previous 16 meetings.
So if Tehran can get Strasburg, he'll turn things back over to his offense down a run. Strasburg bunted through a pitch, missed it, struck out. Chad Tracy was picked off second by Gerald Laird. That was in inning number 2 tonight.
And he's not a bad hitter. Already 2 for 8 on the year, 2 for 9 now.
That caught the corner. A ball and a strike. Powder River 1-2. Desmond at third, Tracy at first, and a 1-2 pitch coming to Strasburg. Inning over. Tehran blew a fastball right on by. Minimize the damage again. Nationals get 2 hits, but strand a pair. In the heart of the order, up for Atlanta, down a run. Washington Nationals is brought to you by the Home Depot. With Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, and Tom Hart, Chip Carey with you on a beautiful night for baseball in Atlanta. 72 degrees at first pitch. Steven Strasburg and Julio Teheran locked in a one-run battle, with Washington's right-hander leading by a 2-1 score here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Strike one to Freddie Freeman.
That opposite field hit by Freddie on that 3-0 count in the first inning. Something good for him to get him going.
He entered play tonight, 4 hits in his last 22 at-bats. Was activated from the disabled list at the start of the Rockies series at Coors Field. Suffering an oblique. Nearly got hit. 2 balls and a strike.
And that made him 4 for 11 in his career off Strasburg. But that miss, that's where he's been missing since the game started. Remember, he threw one to the backstop that hit Laz Diaz in the right shin guard.
And then he comes back with that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Throw one fastball up and away, make the adjustment, throw the next one way inside, and then you drop a curveball.
Then he missed badly with that one to force a full count.
Yeah, I think that was a changeup, but so I'm based on his fastball, I'm going with a curveball right here.
He missed downstairs. A leadoff walk for Freddie Freeman.
Three leadoff walks. One has scored.
I don't know. He doesn't have great numbers here. He had that one crazy start last year when it was hot out and just didn't look like he wanted to be out there whatsoever. I don't know if it's the stadium here, the mound, if he's working on something or struggling with something, but he just does not look comfortable out there. He's flying off the first base side of the mound an awful lot. I just don't remember seeing him do that so much. I don't know if he's struggling with that or if that's something he's trying to fix. I don't know what it is, but certainly his location hasn't been very good.
Not with a fastball, not at all.
As I said earlier, this is uncharted territory for Strasburg. He's riding a 4-game losing streak. He's never had one until now in the major leagues. Chris Johnson, a late swing, fouls that back into the seats. And quickly 0-2. Braves would love a big inning for Dan Ugglas, the Delta Airlines on deck batter, and he's picked up another hit against Strasburg tonight. Breaking ball, and Chris knew it. Nasty pitch from Strasburg. And that is his 3rd strikeout tonight.
This was a beauty because Chris has been so good behind in the count and taking pitches the other way, giving up the inner half. I really thought that he would try to throw a fastball by him inside, and yet came back with that curveball. That's been his best pitch tonight, is his curve.
You know, as erratic as he's been with his fastball as a hitter, you still have to respect that pitch.
Yep.
Way high to Dan Uggla. Kind of a weird offensive game tonight. The Nationals have 9 hits through 4 innings, but have scored only 2 runs. The Braves have had their leadoff man on in every inning tonight, who scored but once against Strasburg. And he misses with the heat. 2 balls, no strikes.
And he's not going to get any of those borderline calls because he has been all around the clock trying to hone in on the strike zone with his fastball. He's been everywhere.
Got that pitch called a strike. It's 2-1.
And as with all good pitchers, great pitchers, this is where the Braves want to try and take advantage of this. You don't want him, much like we've talked with Teheran, to figure something out and get settled in.
Hot shot, base hit by Dan Uggla, who's 2 for 2.
Dan was just 4 for 27 on the road trip and 0 for his last 12 with 8 strikeouts. So obviously what he needed was a little dose of Strasburg. Give me Steven Strasburg and I'll get back on track.
Here's B.J. Upton. He fly to center on the first pitch he saw tonight. There's that good breaking ball for a strike. Maybe this is a stretch, fellas, but remember Evan Gattis hit the home run off Strasburg up in Washington? Would that be something that sticks in his head? 96-mile-an-hour chest-high ball that Evan launched at Nationals Park?
I think it does a little bit to your confidence, but Evan's not playing tonight, so just his body language to me tonight, even though he's got the lead, has been almost like a guy who's really frustrated, like he's kind of lost a sense of his mechanics and can't figure out how to fix it.
3 pitches, retires Upton. That's the 4th strikeout, and 2 are out for Gerald Laird.
You know, you're right, Joe. It looks like mechanically he gives you the body language that he's searching for something. He's trying to figure something out. And you know, I talked to FP Santangelo a little bit before the game, and he was asking me some questions. And you know, I think one of the things they're talking about over there is whether or not he's gotten away from his power game and is trying to pitch more to contact and have some easier innings. And if that's the case, maybe he's going overboard the other way to try and get that power game back. Because it does look to me that if you were to look at it and had never seen him pitch, you'd say, well, he's trying to throw the ball too hard because he's falling off to his glove side all the time and his arm slots all over the place. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to get back to that power guy, more strikeouts, and get away from, if there's been any of that mentality of trying to pitch more to contact.
Line drive into center by Laird. That's a hit. Here comes Freddie around third. Span loads up. Throw coming toward third. It's going to be in time. Did the run score? Yes, it did. The run scored an eyelash ahead of the tag at third base to retire Dan Uggla. But Gerald Laird with a big 2-out hit cashes in the leadoff walk and ties the game 2-2 after 4.
Base running with 2 out and a base hit. He never, once he rounded third base, never looked back over his shoulder. ran hard all the way, and it's a good thing he did, because look how close this is to the tag and him stepping on home plate. If he pulls up and just eases into the plate, that run doesn't score because Uggla was out at third. Great base running there by Freddie. And was he out at third? Yep, got him. Big run right there.
So we've had runners thrown out at every base except the plate tonight.
Almost a cycle.
So again, Tehran back level with Strasburg through 4 in the top of the order for the Nationals. It's Denard Span who takes outside ball 1.
Tom, we talk about shutdown innings, especially after you get the lead. That's been an issue for Julio, and was in Pittsburgh, where he kept getting the lead back or would get tied, as the case is right now. Is that something you think about consciously as the pitcher when you go out there?
B.J. Upton on the run, makes a terrific catch in left center field. 1 out.
Yeah, in answer to your question, yes, it is. I think that's, and especially when you're a younger pitcher and you're trying to establish yourself. You know, there's a lot of reasons why. These are Zaxby's indescribably good play. Nice catch. There's a lot of reasons why I've always said that a manager is going to take you out of a game, and you don't want to get that reputation of, oh, man, every time we get this guy a lead or get him back in the game, he can't go out there and hold it. You want to prove you're able to do that, not only to your manager, because obviously it goes a long way towards winning games, and when you're trying to establish yourself and win games, that plays on your mind a little bit.
Espinosa bouncing ball to second. 2 quick outs in the Nationals' 5th.
I think you earn the respect of your teammates, too, in terms of what might be called baseball toughness, just the mental toughness of being aware of the situation, especially against a tough pitcher, and being able to go out and throw a 0 on the board.
Yeah, you want your guys behind you to know that, hey, if we get you back in this game or we get you a lead, you're going to get us back in the dugout and give us a chance to add to it. Not, okay, we got the guy a lead. Well, let's see if we can hold it this time. Or, you know, you just don't want to feel like you're constantly fighting that uphill battle. You want to be that guy that, hey, when they get me the lead or they get me back in the game, I'm getting the job done for them.
Bryce Harper pops up the first pitch, left side over the Washington dugout. And no play. We're talking about Bryce Harper and the amazing start to his big league career. He's 20 years young. This is the most home runs in baseball history hit through your age 20 season. Bryce Harper has 31 right now for Washington.
He won't be 20 until the offseason, so every home run this year will move him up the ladder toward Mel Lott.
And it's my understanding, maybe we can put that graphic up again, if you take away Tony Conigliaro, who was injured, you take away Mike Trout, and you take away Bryce Harper, every other player on that list is in the Hall of Fame. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nasty inside corner.
A-Rod probably will be. Junior will be.
Pretty good company, huh?
Very good company.
Pop fly foul by Harper. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, both these guys tonight have been similar in several ways, but fastball command, it's not that Julio's walked a bunch of guys, but his fastball command's been in the middle of the plate too often. But they both have very good curveballs.
You know, that's one of those things that I talk about a lot as a pitcher that you have to figure out. There's very few times you're going to go out there and have everything going. Something's going to be missing on a given night. And tonight, like you mentioned, I think it's safe to say that fastball command has been an issue for both guys, so they're trying to figure out a way to utilize their other pitches and take some pressure off of that location problem.
Ripped foul. Nice catch by the ball boy down the right field line on that screaming liner. Still 2-2.
This guy swings the bat so viciously on every swing. This is a breaking ball, so he might have been fooled a little bit, got a little bit out on his front foot. But look at the full swing he puts on. It wasn't like the top hand came off and he tried to flare one somewhere.
That's not a 2-strike put it in play swing.
Negative.
Popped him up. Andrelton Simmons takes over right behind the mound, and there's that shutdown inning we've been looking for. Julio Teheran goes to work in the Braves' 5th. 2-2 your score. Part by Blimpie, by the Georgia Lottery, by the Home Depot, and by Toyota. 2-2 your score. Braves up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nice crowd tonight at Turner Field as the Braves and Nationals meet again here in the 2013 campaign. Julio struck out in his lone at bat. That was back in the 2nd. Again, Strasburg, very little fastball command in tonight's game. The Braves have put the leadoff man in each of the first 4 innings. 2 leadoff walks have come back to score against Strasburg so far. Teheran with a line drive down the right field line. That's headed for the corner. And Julio Teheran doubles.
Well, I'm going to shy away from this description.
The athlete strikes again. A fastball away, and not so sure he was hitting the ball where it was pitched as much as he was a little bit late, but we'll take the end result. A nice leadoff double.
All I know is he's got 4 hits now, and they've all been in the same exact place. So I think he just has that.
Nothing wrong with that.
That range.
So the Braves get another leadoff man on. Let's see if Schaefer can get Teheran over or in and put the Braves back in front. Atlanta led 1-0 after 1. They tied it an inning ago.
Talked about Chipper coming out and giving Adam LaRoche a hand today. Well, you know, Huddy got here early and worked with Teheran on his swing. Huddy got 2 knocks off of Strasburg last time.
Oh, Jordan takes a ball low. 3 balls, no strikes.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Well, like you said, though, he's been all over the place.
And he missed again. 2 on, nobody out. Strasburg walked 4 on April 7th in Cincinnati. He's walked 4 tonight. That brings his pitching coach to the mound.
That gives him 12 on the year. Talking about him scuffling here in this ballpark, Tommy, and that is no surprise when you think about his ERA here. A 1-2 record, 6.28 coming into his start tonight.
Yeah, well, he's fighting something out there tonight. There's no question about that. And, you know, for a guy that's a power pitcher, and you can't find your fastball command, it's awful tough to try and figure something else out.
Let's see what Simmons has in mind. No bunts. And Strasburg again misses with ball 1. Remember, he started 0 for 4 with strike 1. Then went 5 for 5 with strike 1. He's not thrown many first pitch strikes since the second inning.
His career high in walks is 5. That was back in 2010.
Swing and a high pop. Shallow left. Harper coming on. Still coming, and near the line. Makes the grab. 4 out number 1.
Long run for Bryce. And made a good play right there at the line. It would have been a fair ball. Freddie Gonzalez deciding not to bunt, let the middle of his order hack away. And remember, Anderson had a real good swing at him. His second at bat almost hit one out of here. Plus, if he walks, if he gets him bunted over, they're going to pitch around this guy. They want to take the bat out of his hands.
Upton has an RBI single. He was doubled up in the third inning. 2 on, 1 out for Justin now. Strike 1.
Something else, Tom. I mean, we've been watching this lack of location on his fastball, and they've been 94, maybe 95. It's not any of that 98, 99 that we grew accustomed to when he first came to the big leagues.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, but it's about 3 or 4 or 5 miles an hour off what we've seen before from Strasburg.
Two balls and a strike. Outfield very deep. And Strasburg missed badly again.
He does want to throw him a fastball. He threw that first one by him, but he may have felt fortunate about that. And now 3-1. All during the road trip, we saw the Braves middle of the order getting a lot of 3-1 breaking pitches, just get over breaking pitches for strikes. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him throw Justin one here.
A fastball, full count.
And for Justin, I thought that was great. He wasn't just sitting on fastball. He might have been looking for the breaking ball there, knowing, okay, he beat me there, but I wasn't looking for a fastball. I still got a pitch left to work with.
And he comes back to strike out Upton. Huge pitch for Strasburg, his 5th strikeout.
Two best fastballs, both velocity and location of the game right there.
Got that one up to 96.
So now it's up to Freddie Freeman. He's singled, walked, and scored tonight. A little off. Strike one. Nice stop by Suzuki. Can't find it. Now does. And no advance. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a big 2-out hit from Gerald Laird an inning ago. Freeman looks for another, and he's ahead in the count now, 3-1.
Different story here, I think, for Freddie, left-handed hitter. That fastball jumping.
Hot shot and line to Tracy at third. The Braves put the first 2 runners on in the 5th inning and cannot break a 2-2 tie. We're through 5 in Atlanta. The 4, 5, 6 hitters are up for Washington. The score remains 2-2. Sixth inning here in Atlanta, and it's as even as it can be. Braves 2, Washington 2. Both clubs getting a lot of scoring opportunities. Both teams 2 for 6 fellows so far with runners in scoring position tonight.
Opportunities. Both teams are going to look back, whichever one comes up on the short end tonight, and think, man, we had a chance. Let's hope it's the Nationals that are thinking that.
Julio Teheran has retired the last 5 in a row. Got him in order in the 5th inning. Now faces Jason Worth, who's fly to center and fly to right. And is behind strike one. Washington has 9 hits. They have but 3 since the 2nd inning. 4 as Worth singles on an 0-1 pitch. So Washington puts a leadoff man on. 4th time they've done that in tonight's game. And it's trivia time. Our AT Universe trivia question: who holds the Nationals Expos franchise record for single season strikeouts by a pitcher?
Pedro.
Randy Johnson.
Mark Langston.
Langston's a good call too. Got traded for Randy Johnson.
LaRoche has a hit in 2 tries. Did it go? Apparently not. Ball 1. Even though Adam is struggling at the plate, one thing he's really helped is this Washington defense. The Nationals haven't had any defensive issues to this point tonight, but they have made 23 errors this year. That's turned into 14 unearned runs.
7 errors by their shortstop.
Diaz trying to move things along here with LaRoche in the box. 2-0.
Well, with this shift on, Adam tonight has gone to left field twice, once for a hit and once for a deep line drive out. Activity begins in the Braves pen.
And a base on balls for LaRoche. 2 on with nobody out. Trouble afoot in the 6th inning. Delta Airlines, proud sponsor of your Atlanta Braves, as Ian Desmond is up for Davey Johnson and Washington. Roger McDowell out for a quick visit. Mentioned how tough the road trip was for the Braves, and there's no mistaking it. They went 3-7, but let's think about something else. Braves played the Pittsburgh Pirates on that road trip. Pirates start playing first place and may have found their kryptonite. They're in Milwaukee tonight and losing. An amazing stat about the Pittsburgh Pirates coming into play tonight. They are 7-44 all time at Miller Park.
That's ugly. Hard to explain that.
Yeah. Atlanta took care of business with Colorado. But you've also got the Detroit Tigers, who start play tonight a half game out of first place.
Colorado's tied for first.
Yeah, so they weren't playing weak division ball clubs. And not playing a weak one tonight. They've got the Nationals in town and tied at 2 for Desmond.
Freddie Gonzalez not bunting. Davey Johnson not bunting. Desmond's been hot though. 6-game hitting streak, 2 for 2 tonight, as you see.
Beltie taken for a strike.
He has hit into a couple of double plays.
And that one got a big piece of Gerald Laird. He's down behind the plate.
Rocked him on the mask. He's holding his chin. Yeah. Direct hit.
Those are the ones that seem to hurt the catcher most when it's a direct hit down by the chin portion of that mask. Drives it up into your jaw. Well, aside from being left-handed, that's why I never wanted to catch up there.
It's a good reason. Good reason.
Two very good ones.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count for Desmond. 2 on, nobody out. Swing and a miss. Desmond went fishing and came up empty. And that's going to be the last batter Julio Teheran faces. Freddie Gonzalez out of the dugout quickly signals to his bullpen.
When you've got guys that throw as hard as Teheran and Strasburg do, you've got to respect the fastball. And tonight they both had good breaking balls, and a lot of their strikeouts have come from the hook.
Guys, Teheran gave up a lot of hits, but only 2 runs. Kid's growing up. And we're into the Braves bullpen.
Giving up a career-high 10 hits, 5 1/3 innings, just 1 walk that he just issued moments ago, and 5 strikeouts. But it leads us to our SunTrust shining moments in that they only have 2 runs thanks to some good defense, including this good pickoff by Teheran that helped himself in the first inning. Second inning, a missed bunt that turned into a strikeout and tag-out double play. Good play there, good throw by Gerald Laird, good handle on the other end by Simmons. And then a 3-6-3 double play that got him out of a jam off the bat of Bryce Harper. Some good defense behind him tonight. That's why it's still a close game. And now, boys, we need the Braves bullpen to do what they've been so good at, and that's retiring that first batter and stranding a lot of runners.
And it's Jordan Walden who answers that AT&T call to the bullpen. You're right, Joe. The Braves have allowed just 4 of 24 inherited runners to score this year, and they've retired 45 of 68 first batters. Chad Tracy, the first man to greet Jordan tonight. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. That's down and in, ball 2. Tracy getting the start tonight for the injured Ryan Zimmerman. They have another youngster by the name of Anthony Rendon, who was the 6th pick in the 2011 draft by Washington. Tracy pops this one up behind the plate. Laird will give chase. And it's over where Chipper Jones was a moment ago.
Come on, Chip, make the play.
Help the fans out over there.
He's got the range of a rose bush these days. Two balls and a strike. Two and two.
Good change up there from Walden, who had some command problems of his own while with the Angels, but not here in a Braves uniform. He hasn't walked a batter, and he's been firing strikes. Looks good.
Yeah, it's good that he left those control issues out west.
Swing and a miss. Tracy's retired on strikes. First batter faced, first batter efficiency continues to be a Braves bullpen strength.
And it's 8 out of 9 first batters retired by him.
Here's Suzuki. He's 1 for 2.
He should have a bunch of at-bats against Walden, but just 2 for 5. A double and a triple.
Nasty breaking ball. Strike one.
Suzuki was in the American League West until last season, playing for Oakland.
Kurt joined the Nationals last year when they had that horrible spate of catching injuries. They were losing a catcher a day, it seemed. In the heat of the summer, Wilson Ramos, who's still battling a hamstring problem, tore up a knee picking up a baseball behind home plate. That was lost for the rest of the year last year. And now Suzuki, a little fly ball into shallow right, but Jordan Schaefer's going to track it down. And that retires the side. Boy, oh boy, tons of opportunities for both clubs. Washington wastes 2 on and nobody out in the 6th. As Johnson goes to work for the Braves in the home half. Still tied 2-2. For Steven Strasburg tonight, has it, fellas? 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 runs, leadoff hitters all over the place, but he's still in a 2-2 game with the Braves up in their half of the 6th. All year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, low price every day.
Yeah, it's definitely been a struggle for him tonight, but you know, to his credit, he's hung in there and certainly kept his team in a position to have an opportunity to win the game.
It's been a good pitch for him all night.
Chris has grounded out and struck out on a pitch just like that last time up. I just can't remember a start where he has had so little fastball command while facing the Braves.
His head's really snapping down when he's delivering. Like Tom said, he's flying open. It's almost like he's just throwing it and has, as we've seen, absolutely no idea where it's going.
And Uglo waits next, then B.J. Upton. Swing and a miss. 1 away.
Braves fans, the Braves take on the Mets this Friday, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, presented by Corona. Cheer on your Braves this weekend and don't miss Georgia Lottery Friday night fireworks, as well as Kids Run the Bases on Sunday. For Braves tickets, visit braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000.
Is it Bark in the Park on Sunday as well?
Yes.
First one?
Yep. Is Tilly coming?
Don't think so. Don't think so. She'd wear some people out.
No balls at a strike. Count to Dan Ugla. That's up and in. Chance to see Matt Harvey, the phenom for the Mets, who's pitching tonight against the Marlins. He's got Jose Fernandez. How about that matchup of young flamethrowers down in Miami? 1-2.
Yeah, this game tonight against Strasburg, kind of a tune-up for Harvey. He's a hard thrower also, and he and Strasburg hooked up a couple of days ago.
That was amazing. The game was in New York, and the fans at Citi Field were chanting, "Harvey's better," as Strasburg continued his losing streak, which stands at 4 entering play tonight.
He threw that one in the dirt and then just walked around shaking his head like, what am I doing?
His off-speed stuff has been awfully good, though. He gets Ugla to swing and miss.
Those were 2 good change-ups to Chris Johnson and Ugla. A guy that he has a lot of trouble getting out. That had good sink to it.
Well, when you throw one pitch 48 feet and then you come back with a changeup like that, it's Dan's got to be thinking, how do you do that? I'm thinking, how do you do that?
Braves got to get this guy going. BJ at 148 at the plate. And what has to be considered alarming is that in 88 at bats, Upton has struck out 31 times now. One ball, 2 strikes. Inning over. Strasburg strikes out the side in the 6th and has set down 6 straight Braves. He's due up first as we head to the 7th inning.
Tie game tonight through 6 innings, 2-2 our score, and a big night again tomorrow night, too. Braves fans, Tim Hudson's going for his 200th win tomorrow night against Gio Gonzalez, the lefty of the Nationals. Be here to cheer him on as he goes for a big career milestone. Get your Coca-Cola 2 for $30 Tuesday tickets now at braves.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-745-3000. And your Chevron starting pitchers for tomorrow, there they are. Identical record and ERA. Braves beat Gonzalez up in Washington in that 3-game sweep earlier.
So Strasburg comes out of the ball game for Washington. Steve Lombardozzi bats for him in the Nationals' 7th inning. Lombardozzi at 256 takes a letter high strike. Strasburg did not have his A stuff, but still held the Braves to 2 runs, 6 hits in 6 innings with 8 strikeouts and 4 walks.
I thought it was the best inning, this last inning, with his fastball, especially against BJ.
Well, that might be part of the reason why they're taking him out of there. Pitch count's kind of high, obviously. It's been not an easy game, but the last inning was his best inning. Maybe they want him to end on a good note and try and pick him up a win.
Strasburg struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters he faced. As Washington, 2 runs on 10 hits have been held in check by Julio Teheran, and to this point Jordan Walden, who begins his first full inning of work. And he gets Lombardozzi to swing and miss. Second strikeout for Walden. 1 up, 1 down in the 7th.
Yeah, he's got a good changeup working. There's the line on Strasburg. Walden's last time out at Detroit, he went an inning and 2/3 that night. Zeros across with a couple of strikeouts.
The Braves got Walden from the Angels for Tommy Hanson. Tommy pitches tonight for Los Angeles. He's 2-1. He's in Oakland tonight. So Tommy pitches well against the Athletics. Denard Span, a 1-for-3 night. Singled in the first. And it was a little late. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Clippard will be next.
He's pretty much fastball changeup these days. As I know that you've been at home watching every game while the team was on the road,
right? Yep.
Aren't you amazed at how many guys are coming out of every bullpen throwing mid-90s?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, and guys in rotations too. I mean, there aren't too many guys that aren't in the mid-90 or low to mid-90s in rotations. But yeah, it seems every guy that's coming out of the bullpen is 95 plus nowadays.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
His changeup's been real good. Might see one right here.
Squib towards short. Anderton's got it. Guns quickly and gets Span for out number 2. FoxSportsSouth.com is bringing you your Braves coverage all season long. Online now, see what the Braves learned from their Detroit series and why our experts think Mike Minor shows no signs of a slowing down season. Get analysis from every game on FoxSportsSouth.com. Two up, two down for Walden. This will be his last inning. His spot's due second when the Braves come up in the 7th inning.
Are you saying he can't hit?
No. I'm saying there are other guys on the bench who are probably higher in the pecking order.
Oh,
Jordan.
okay.
You are relentless.
I gotta stick up for the pitchers, man. I mean, they're always getting dogged for being non-athletes and all this other stuff.
There is a reason for that.
Well, you saw what Tehran did out there tonight. I mean, what more does the guy have to do?
He is rapidly convincing me that he is a rare breed.
One ball, one strike. Now Espinosa down to his last strike in this inning.
His gap on his fastball and changeup are really good. He's been throwing 94 to 95. Changeups have been right around 85, 86. And they've been down.
Swing and a miss. Wow, was Jordan Walden impressive in an inning and 2/3. He strikes out 3 and keeps this game tied with the 8, 9, and 1 spots coming up in the Braves 7th. Ball is brought to you in part by Georgia Power, by Ram Trucks, and by AT&T. 2-2 game at the 7th inning stretch here at Turner Field. Glad you're with us tonight. Boy, it's great to be back here at Turner Field, where Atlanta tries to win its 8th consecutive game over Davy Johnson's Washington Nationals dating back to last season. And speaking of winning streaks, we've got one going on the trivia question. Who holds the Nationals Expos franchise record for a single season total of strikeouts by a pitcher?
I'm going Pedro.
See, I mean, I'm with you. All these, they seem too obvious.
Right.
And I don't know why this guy's name popped into my head. Kenny Hill.
Oh, really?
Ken
Good
Hill.
one.
Yeah.
And I thought of Steve Rogers. I think I said Mark Langston. Because, as we know, left-handed pitchers are such great athletes, they probably have all kinds of strikeout records. So I'm going with Mark Langston.
We had it. See?
The streak continues.
see how many. 305.
Wow.
305 strikeouts in 1997.
It's pretty good.
I'll let you know when I get to your guys that you guess.
Oh, here we perfect. Gerald Laird starts against Tyler Clippard.
I mean, I know Pedro was the first name I mentioned, but you just happened to go first.
Bill Stoneman is second. Former GM of the Angels. Javi Vasquez, Jeff Facero.
Javi, forgot about him.
And that's high to Gerald Laird. 2 balls, no strikes. Here are Clippard's numbers. You might recall the Braves did a lot of damage to the Washington bullpen in our first series up at Nationals Park this year.
And the Braves didn't give up any runs out of their pen.
However, Washington's bullpen of late, fellas, has been very, very effective and much improved.
Yeah, they've turned things around a little bit. I remember watching that game that night and watching that implosion and thinking, man, if these two teams are pretty evenly matched and it comes down to these bullpens, then I certainly like the Braves' chances over the course of the year, obviously.
3 balls and a strike from Tyler Clippard.
This guy's good. I like his arm. I like the gap between his good fastball and changeup. But that night he was wild as could be, and he has a tendency to be wild with his fastball.
And he just walked Gerald Laird. Man, oh man, the Braves are putting the leadoff man on virtually every inning tonight.
Well, let's go back real quick to Strasburg. He was fighting himself all night. He didn't look good on the mound. His body language wasn't very good. But he hung in there. He gave up the 2 runs, but even without his best stuff, without his best fastball, he had a great curveball tonight, and he held the Braves to 2 runs and struck out 8.
And isn't that the burden of greatness? Here, he doesn't have great command, but he kept his club in the game, and nobody's going to talk about that. All they're going to say is, well, he struggled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be mostly about how he struggled, not how he figured something out and kept his team in the game on an off night.
Tyler Pasternak, he pinch hits, shows bunt, and gets it down the first base line. LaRoche has only one play. The sacrifice of beauty by Tyler Pasternak.
Tyler's done a good job since he got called up. Got a start the other night, hit a double his first time up. Puts down a good bunt there that hopefully leads to something good for the Braves. And when you come off the bench, that's what you've got to do, is always be ready when called on.
Jordan's had the eagle eye tonight. Jordan Schaefer, that is. He's walked 3 times. Braves have put the leadoff man on in 6 of the 7 innings played tonight. And Laird, the go-ahead runner, out at second base with 1 out for Schaefer. Ball 1.
.92, 93 his fastball, to 81 on his changeup, but Jordan in no hurry. Love his approach. He may try to make Strasburg throw him strikes. Laid off a lot of high fastballs. Did the same thing there with Clippard's first fastball and then the change.
Jason Worth very shallow and right for Schaefer. 2 balls and a strike.
Backed up his changeup, doubled up on it. Good arms in there, outfield, all around. Worth and Harper have the best. But Denard Span made a good throw to get Dan Uggla at third base earlier tonight, too. Don't forget that.
That's something for Brian Snitker, quite obviously, to think about, especially with a catcher running at second base in a tie game.
tripled up on him.
Yeah, 3 straight.
Well, it's that inner cat and mouse game now. Clifford wondering if he can throw one more. Jordan wondering if he's going to throw one more. See if either one of them outsmart themselves.
Fastball too tight, full count.
Wow, with a base open, I know you're supposed to look fastball and adjust, but it'd be awful hard for me if I was Jordan not to be looking for that changeup again.
I agree. Especially in a tie game.
Swing and a base hit to right field. Laird will stop at third as Worth, playing shallowly, got to it quickly. And Jordan Schaefer and the Braves in business in the 7th inning.
Good approach by Jordan. He looked for that changeup and he got it. Good pitch too, down, probably a ball if he doesn't swing at it, but the only bad side was he hit it too hard to the guy with the best arm in the outfield.
Yeah, it was a good call, Tommy. And he, for Jordan, didn't miss it. Sometimes you get the pitch you're looking for and you don't do what you want with it. He hit it hard. He's had a good night.
So that good at bat puts the go-ahead run 90 feet away with one out. A fly ball might get you the lead. Let's see if Simmons can deliver. Hamilton wants time and gets it.
For 2 in his career against Clifford.
And Anderson, you got to make him elevate that changeup or elevate that fastball so you can get something in the air to the outfield.
Upstairs, ball 1.
And that was a changeup, and I think he can afford to look for it early in the count.
Schaefer's running. The pitch, a strike. Big play there. It takes away the double play opportunity. Second steal of the night for Jordan Schaefer.
He wasn't paying any attention to him. Never even thought about throwing over. Now the infield will come in, and that helps Andrelton's cause too.
With a fast runner at second base, a hit could score you 2 here. Line drive right field. Worth is there. There's the catch. Laird tags. Here comes the throw to the plate. Off target. Schaefer to third. Safe. Braves lead 3-2.
RBI for Andrelton. Good piece of hitting. Didn't try to do too much with this. And the Braves had to take a chance here to get the lead. And thanks to that throw that was off the mark, both guys moved up. So a good inning, and
Washington's going to appeal. As Diaz's first time was issued. Hang on a second. He's talking things over with Suzuki. Are they going to allow the appeal? Now Clippard steps off. Laird did not leave too soon.
That clearly shows you that he was on the bag.
Well, how about the Braves? They've gotten 3 runs with 3 leadoff walks tonight. They've manufactured all 3 of their runs. Justin Upton singled after Schaefer walked and stole second in the first. Gerald Laird chased home Freddie Freeman, who walked to start the 4th inning. Andrelton Simmons with a sac fly brings home Gerald Laird, who walked to start the 7th. On our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard, Justin Upton with 12 home runs doing serious extra base damage.
About all 3 of them in this game.
He was looking for number 13.
When was the last time Justin had 3 at-bats with a runner in scoring position in one game? This might be the first.
Haven't been too many, that's for sure.
Gretchen just told me that it is definitely the first time this year.
Comes with 2 outs and the Braves in front 3-2. Ooh, what a cut.
He's on that fastball, and I hate for him to give up the fastball in an effort here behind in the count to look for the changeup. But a lot of times that guy that just squeaked by there on that fastball, he's not going to challenge you with another.
Well, a lot of times righty on righty, lefty on lefty, that changeup's not as good a pitch. So see what Clippard goes to.
Swing and a miss. Fastball. And that'll end the Atlanta 7th inning. But the Braves manufacture their 3rd run, and it puts them in front. Harper, Worth, and LaRoche coming up. Eric O'Flaherty, 2 from the Atlanta pen.
Been a really good ball game. Both clubs have had a lot of base runners and not really able to capitalize, but the Braves just took the lead. Nice manufactured run there in the 7th. And they turn it over to O'Flaherty and hopefully Kimbrell in the 9th to try to wrap it up. Eric has not pitched since the Colorado series, so he's had some rest.
Bryce Harper's 1 for 3 tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. Harper's hit was a first inning double against Julio Teheran. Teheran gave up 10 hits in 5 1/3 innings. Bent but didn't break, fellas. He gave up just 2 runs in the game.
Here's something. There's 2 lefties due up here this inning. Harper and LaRoche sandwiched around Worth. Harper 1 for 4 with a walk, and LaRoche 3 for 10 with a walk against O'Flaherty. But the right-hander Worth is 0 for 6.
Broken bat. I mean, he just absolutely sawed him off. 1 out.
That one hurt. That was up and in and on his thumbs. Great pitch.
Worth singled last time up. He's flat out twice and looks low at ball 1. Interesting note on Worth. He signed to play baseball and attend the University of Georgia before he signed professionally with the Baltimore Orioles. Oh, so many years ago. His grandfather was Dick Ducky Schofield, who played 19 years in the big leagues for 8 teams. His uncle Dick played shortstop with the Angels, Mets, Toronto, and Dodgers.
And his mom is a good athlete.
Yeah, she competed in the long jump and 100 meters at the U.S. Olympic trials. So a great athletic family for Jason Worth. Ow, fouled right off his foot, and Worth's down in a heap.
Baby.
Toe, foot, or ankle, I'm not sure, but Worth very gingerly to his knees now.
I'm going to guess ankle.
Yeah, look like right top of the ankle, maybe
right above the ankle bone. The reason I say that has been there, done that. That baby will swell up like if you stuck a golf ball down inside your sock.
See, that's the most amazing thing about major league hitters. You'll do that in the bat, and you got to stand in there again knowing that pitcher's going to try to go in the exact same spot on the very next pitch.
Yep. The trainer's trying to lift his pant leg up to see if it's okay, and Jason's not going to let him.
Wondering if Adam LaRoche said, boy, that looked like it really hurt.
Yeah, well, you know it was something because he grinned real big.
Let's see what kind of leverage, if any, Worth has now with a 2-2 count. That's his front foot.
That would not throw him a fastball. Because that's all he's thinking about right now is not getting jammed.
That was low, full count. LaRoche next, 3-2 Atlanta, 8th inning. Swing and a miss. 2 outs.
Good pitch for the strikeout. 2 out in the 8th. Time for Georgia Power Energy tip number 2. Georgia Power customers can take advantage of Georgia Power's refrigerator recycling program. Free pickup for your second working refrigerator or freezer, plus you get $50.
Here's LaRoche. Steve Reich over the inside corner. Oh, very late time granted there.
Braves bullpen, Walden and O'Flaherty have faced 7 hitters so far, only 1 ball to the outfield and 4 strikeouts.
Now we're 1 strike away from sending it to the bottom of the inning. He struck him out. The Braves bullpen has been perfect tonight. Atlanta looks for some 8th inning insurance. Braves 3, Nationals 2 in game 1 of a big 4-game set. Part by the Home Depot. Great ball game in Atlanta, and considering what the Braves just went through on the road, late arrival, early arrival, whichever way you want to put it this morning. They lead the Nationals by a run late with Roger Bernardina taking over in right. Drew Storen on for his 10th appearance out of the Nationals pen.
Look at his ERA. A lot of strikeouts, no walks. He's just getting knocked around. If there is a glaring shortcoming to their bullpen, not really taking into consideration their slow start.
First pitch popped up by Freeman. Long run down the left field line. That ball angling for the stands, but Bryce Harper comes in and makes a tough play. One out.
What a great catch. That was a great play right up against the wall. And went to the warning track on the slide just in time. What a play. But to my point is they all have good arms, but they only have one lefty in their pen, and that's Zach Duke, who's a former starter. And in this division, I think you need more than one lefty, and somebody who's preferably used to doing that.
Chris Johnson, a rare offer for Chris tonight. And a late swing and a miss. Nationals have blown 4 saves this year. They've given up 8 home runs in 72 innings. They've walked 30 men in that stretch.
30 in 72 innings?
Yeah. Wow. But in their last 13 games, Nationals bullpen collective ERA 1.93. So after a rough start, Davey Johnson's crews turned things around in relief. Not tonight. Tyler Clippard gave up a 7th inning run. Three very different games between these teams up in Washington. Braves came back and stole one in game 1. Tight game. The Braves won straight out. And then the Braves blew them out in the series wrap up. Here another close game. 3-2 in game 1 of 4. Johnson's down on strikes. Chris strikes out for the 3rd time tonight, and 2 are out.
Yeah, he's been a little late tonight, and could be a little fatigued for him with the late night arrival, and he's been playing virtually every day. Some other guys have picked up the slack tonight, though. It's all right.
Including this man, Dan Uggla. Dan 2 hits in 3 tries. Nothing in 2.
If that was a changeup, it was an awfully hard changeup at 88.
Yeah, I was just looking at his pitch breakdown here. I guess it was. They're saying his changeup's 86 to 90, so.
Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Drew Storen pretty impressive in the 8th inning of play. 3 up, 3 down. Craig Kimbrell, though, ready for the 9th inning, trying to seal the deal in a 3-2 Atlanta game.
game here. The difference in the game, the 7th inning for the Braves, where they took the lead and they manufactured a run. Gerald Laird, who hasn't played since the 2nd game of the doubleheader in Colorado, drew a walk. Tyler Pasternicki, great job of bunting him over. Good piece of hitting here on a 3-2 count on a changeup. Schaefer hit it too hard, couldn't get Laird in. 1st and 3rd, make it 2nd and 3rd after Schaefer had stolen a base. Simmons brings him in with a sacrifice fly. And now a chance for, first chance for Kimbrel to get that bad taste out of his mouth from Colorado.
And a good start. Strike one. Joe, you made an excellent point about Craig while we were in Colorado. Sometimes it takes him a couple of pitches to find the strike zone. Got Desmond to swing and foul one straight back for strike one. The outfield in left and center extremely deep. Justin Upton is 2 steps away from the warning track. B.J. Upton maybe 3 steps off. Schaefer 4 or 5 steps off and right. Broken bat roller to short. Andrelton's got it. Falls. Throws. Got him! What a play! Davey Johnson makes the long jog to first. It's his turn to argue with Tim Timmons.
I hope Freddie Freeman's all right. He put on such a stretch that he may have stretched too much after that remarkable recovery by Andrelton. Watch this. Feet go right out from under him. Looked like he got him. No.
I don't think so. But we'll take it.
Remember, the Braves argued when Freeman was tagged out on a relay throw at first base. That call went against Atlanta. The critical first out in the 9th inning goes the Braves' way.
Yeah, I think he beat it.
One away for Tracy. Chad Tracy, 2 hits and an RBI tonight. Steer, right call.
Just a terrific heads-up play by Simmons, though, not to give up on it. Would have been easy just to sit there, but he went ahead and made the throw, and that good arm had enough on it to make it close.
There's not too many guys in the league with a strong enough arm to make that throw.
Nope.
See you later. 2 outs. Braves Live presented by AT&T is coming up after our game. Freddie Gonzalez will talk about game 1 with the Nationals. We'll get sound from the clubhouse and have all of tonight's highlights.
It's rare that when these two teams hook up that nobody from either side hits a home run. The Braves tonight are homerless, and they have not won a ball game so far this year. Out of their first 15 wins, they're 0-8 when they do not hit a homer.
So one more out will take care of that stat, as Kurt Suzuki stands in the way for Washington. He had a 2nd inning RBI single. 22,870 fans are on their feet, hoping Kimbrel can nail this one down. .99, but outside. 2 balls and a strike. Popped him up. Freddie Freeman in on the grass, is under it, and the Braves have beaten Washington. A very welcome homecoming for the Atlanta Braves, who win their 8th straight over Washington dating back to last year, and they're a perfect 4-0 here in 2013. 3-2's our final score. Back with more fun from Turner Field after this.